performer on the ice and finished as the #1 all-time goal scorer in program history and a 4-time All-MAC performer. Here to introduce Ryan, please welcome former hockey coach Frank Gregg.
Thank you. First off, congratulations to this class of inductees. This is obviously a special occasion and well deserved. Special night for the Division I era of our hockey program that sadly only lasted 5 years, but it was a great 5 years. Rich, I feel like, where's Richard Peck, the great athletic director? Rich, I feel like I'm going to have a meeting with you tomorrow to see what we can do next. I saw Mick Byrne here today, and Jamie and Brian Byer and our coaching staff, Pat Ryans and John Rendy. I feel like I'm ready to walk down the hallways again. Brother Carroll and some of our great recruits from that first Division I class of 16 players, Kellogg, Frappier, and obviously the great introduction of Brian Carter. When Iola reached out to me, I forgot that it was a university. One of the assistant ADs, I think it was Tom, who was no longer here, called me up and he said, "Is this Frank Reddy?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "I'm so-and-so." And I thought he was calling me from Iowa State University, where one of our former assistants is the coach there. And then he was explaining to me who he was, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot that it was a university." I'm truly honored to be here to reflect on those 5 years, which were great years. And Brian Byer, I don't know where you are, Brian. I know you probably had a lot to do with making this night happen, so we appreciate it. We had a lot of fun. It was a 5-year run that, we had accomplished some pretty quick success. Things got thrown at us pretty quick, and as I said, Richard Peck was right by our side with our staff and with Randy and Lyons and Brother Carroll and everybody else. But you can't do it without great players. And Ryan Carter was the Jeff Rulin recruit or version of our hockey player. When we first got some scholarship money, I had some experience at another Division I program, and I kind of knew where to go to get some of these players here. And when we got Carter, that was a big time recruit, for us. A 40-goal scorer out of a major junior league, which most of you guys may not understand unless you're in the hockey world. And from the time that Ryan Carter arrived on this campus, he was the face of our program. And I remember after our first weekend with this new recruiting class and this new Division I era, Pat and John and I, we went back to the Beachmont. We really weren't sure how good our team was going to be because the program had suffered a little bit at the Division III level. And we went into the Quinnipiac tournament and we gave them a scare. And then the next night we absolutely blew out Fairfield. And I remember saying to our guys, I'm like, we got some players here. This thing could change here pretty quick. And Carts was the face of our program. Like every week we went into play, it was always Ryan Carter and the Iowa College Games. And this guy did not disappoint. Every single weekend, this kid was scoring goals everywhere we went. I'm going to go over some of his accomplishments in a second, which are pretty outstanding. But when we got to the MAC championship game, there was an in-between period interview, and they had asked me about what Ryan Carter meant to our program. Because he had put so many points up and he was such an accomplished athlete. But I said, what people don't know about Ryan Carter is that this is a great ambassador for our program. This is a great teammate. This is an unselfish player. He was loved by everybody. And I even remember, we used to have these little little get-togethers after our games, and like, everybody knew Carts. Like, one of my friends, I would introduce him, like, this is Ryan. I was like, oh, is that really, that's really Ryan Carter? You know, he was a star for us in that little hockey era, you know, that we had. And it's a real honor, you know, for me to introduce him, you know, as his coach. I mean, here are some of his accomplishments. And I know that they're written down, but I just want to take a minute out, you know, to talk about this. I mean, he won the MAC Player of the Week numerous times. He was a member of the MAC All-Academic Team, MAC All-Rookie Team, first team All-MAC in 3 or 4 years out of his career, MAC Offensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, holds the record for most goals and points in a season. All-time MAC leader overall in points with 158. He won the Joseph O'Connell Award, which is the most outstanding Iona senior athlete. He was a top 10 Hobie Baker finalist, which is the hockey version of the Heisman, which was unheard of to put an Iona hockey player in that category at that time with, you know, where college hockey was at the Division I level. He led us to 2 Final Fours. And keep in mind that in the first coaches MAC poll, we were picked to finish last. He led us to 2 Final Fours and a championship appearance that we lost to UConn back in the 2000s. Please join me in congratulating, in my opinion, the greatest player in the history of Iona hockey, Ryan Carter, to the Iona.
That's it, Carts.
That's a tough one to follow up after, but I'll do my best here. Long story in advance, I had a 5-hour flight to get here, so it's a little bit lengthy. So I want to thank Coach Brady for the great introduction. Being here tonight brings back many fond memories and a sense of pride of my years spent at Iona. Congratulations to all the other inductees tonight. I know each and every one of you deserve the honor. You have your own stories and memories, and I look forward to hearing them, maybe over a drink tonight. I'd like to thank a few people. Unfortunately, my wife Tammy and our 3 kids, Zachary, Chloe, and Chase, couldn't be here tonight, but I know they're at home wishing that they could be here. Also would like to thank my parents, who made many sacrifices over the years to help me play the sport that I loved. I'll let you in on a little secret. Outside of the U.S., New Yorkers sometimes get a bad reputation. But at my time at Iona, I met so many amazing people that mean so much to me. There's so many individuals that come to mind and allow me to share a few with you. Thank you to my teammates for not only supporting me as a player, but also the cherished memories and friendships made. Some of them are here tonight. Thank you guys for being here. Coach Brady for recruiting and mentoring me for 4 years. His belief and influence helped me grow to be the man I am today. Rob Kellogg, my line mate, roommate, and lifelong friend, who himself being inducted into the St. Louis Hall of Fame this summer and who's present here this evening. All my coaches, John Randy, Pat Lyons, Mike Ward, Jason Fairman, Coach Rich DeMundo, who helped me through those years on and off the ice as friends and mentors. Thank you, Iona University, and all the professors, advisors, and staff for the opportunity, support, encouragement, and ultimately amazing education, helping me graduate as I came here a small town boy and left here a confident, self-sufficient adult. A few other people as well to mention, such as Brother Carol, Jamie Fogarty, really happy to see you guys here today. Eric Nates and his family, who were always my family away from home. And last but not least, Brian Byer, who I know pushed for recognition for hockey teams and players over the years to be recognized. Thank you to all those and the ones that I've surely missed for all the memories and support while I was here at Iona. A little bit about myself. I'm from a tiny town in northern British Columbia on the Alaska Highway with no other town within 4 hours. To give you an idea, we just got our first McDonald's this year, which is a really big deal. Star Wars just came to the theater there this year. And I can't believe Darth Vader's Luke's dad.
That's good.
I left home at 17 years old to chase my dream of hockey. I was a bit of an anomaly because I never really played at a high level until I was 18 years old. In my first year playing junior hockey in Canada, I was a fighter on the team. And it wasn't until a few years later I could prove that I could actually score goals. In my last year of junior hockey, it all came together for me, and I was scoring goals at record-breaking paces. After that season, I had a handful of universities to choose from. Ultimately, talking with Coach Brady, I chose Iona based on what I thought would be a great education and an amazing life experience from moving from the middle of nowhere to New York City. Coach Brady might correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I was the first Canadian recruit to come to Iona with plans for the program to compete in Division I hockey. I don't believe Coach Brady had seen me play at that point, but scoring as many goals as I did the previous year, I was on his radar. So I showed up in New York City, straight from Fort Nelson, British Columbia, arriving at an airport alone to meet assistant coach Mike Ward. I'll never forget my first introduction to a New York accent with "Kada Mike Wood, Iona College," which started the next month of an absolute culture shock and awe learning about the area and the city. As for hockey, one of the knocks I had in my career was my lack of skating ability. Kind of an important in hockey. And while I could skate well, it was unique and clunky. But give me a puck anywhere near the goal or alone for a minute, and I'd score a goal at will. So one of my best hockey memories was some of the looks and comments in our early practices by players, maybe underestimating me or thinking there was a little bit too much height for a Canadian player. In our first game of Division I, we played Fairfield, and early on in the game, I got the puck, went around a defenseman, got a breakaway, made a quick stop move, and lazily shot the puck in the empty net while the goalie laid down. When I got back to the bench, I saw Coach Brady walk down the bench, give a little fist pump, and high-five Coach Ward with a look of, "See, real deal." That memory of justification will always stick in my mind. We ended up winning that game. I happened to score 3 goals, which kind of put Iona and myself on the map as we're here to compete. As a new D1 program, it always seemed we were trying to prove we were the real deal. I'm proud that Coach Brady and all the players from those years showed that we could compete with any school in the nation. For me personally, being nominated as the Hobie Baker Award finalist in my senior year personally brought that validation as well. I do one day hope to see an announcement that hockey will again come back to Iona University. The history of the program does mean more with a competing team. As the school grows, hopefully so does the Iona Athletics Department to create opportunities to bring back this amazing hockey program. But the silver lining is, as it stands, nobody can break my goal record without the school. I did visit Iona in 2019 when I was in the area for a wedding, and I was amazed how much it's changed since I attended. Now being another 5 years later, I'm again amazed with how much it's changed, growing and improving. Becoming a university and the growth shows how successful and amazing this community of Iona truly is. I want to thank each and everyone here today for your time and look forward to one day bringing my kids here to meet many of you great people. Thank you again for this honor. It means so much to me and will be forever cherished by my family.
Thank you, Ryan. That time, we're going to take a brief intermission. So if you